So hello everyone, you join me on the Sky Bridge on New Babbage here with a somewhat squirrely parked reclaimer outside to discuss about an armour set. I've been teasing over the past few videos that I was going to show something from Hurston, and for the past week or so on and off I've been farming or trying to farm a armour set at Hurston. You can get it at Microtech as well. I think it's just easier to get at Hurston, and that is the what some people I suppose are calling the legendary Duster set, which was debuted at CitizenCon when they were showing off the armours for Pyro. However, they have now made some of them, although I would think you can get all of them in some regard at these places, to loot from NPCs at the various abandoned outposts. Strongholds, I think is the term for them. So the named places that you can visit that have quantum markers now that you can jump to on planets. Ooh, somebody's flying over with their light on. And Hurston and Microtech both have these. A good example on Microtech is Dunborough, a trashed reclaimer wreck. And on Hurston there's several, and Hurston is the easiest to farm by far. I can show you where the NPC dudes spawn. I think there's a few other people done some videos on this now as well. I've been going backwards and forwards all over these bloody places trying to find this armour, but now I finally have a set and it's paid off. In fact, I have two of them, so I know that it's definitely working and that you can get this. It's just persistence. Like I said, this has taken me the better part of a week just for two of these sets to show up. In fact, they both showed up in pretty quick succession, so it's just luck of the draw, I'm afraid, when you get there. But I'm going to put it on. So I've got one of the scale weave undersuits. So this is one of the undersuits from the Dusters. You can see because it's got the wraps that they tend to use, very much like the Fremen from Dune. So we're going to go through this armour piece by piece. We'll show you why it's legendary, air quotes, and then I will mark it off and show you where you can get these different pieces, or where you can get this armour anyway, to make it a little bit easier, because then you can just bounce backwards and forwards between these places. So I'm going to put up the image of the armours that were at CitizenCon, and you can see the two I want you to pay attention to is the legendary one, again air quotes, which is over to the right hand side, and then the epic one, which is just to the left of that, so the fourth one along, so to speak. And you can see how they look similar but not quite, and that's important. So we're going to put the legendary one on now, and we'll show you why it's important, or why it's good to get, at least, apart from just being flashy, as I'm sure you'll see. So just got to dig it out in my helmets again. There we go. So we've got this Manticore helmet, and all of these pieces are heavy armour, by the way, so they are definitely worth getting. And you can see, dominate the battlefield in a Manticore helmet, crafted with a durable polymer weave for maximum protection. Fully enclosed combat helmet is enhanced with pointed horns that create a foreboding silhouette. And it does look kind of cool. I don't know who's flying nearby that's left their light on, but that's very handy. So that's the helmet. Next is our core, and you can see it here. Turn off the custom filters again, and you can see Dust Devil armor core. Salvage pieces of disused protective gear were welded together to make this intimidating armor set. The cape, made from an old Banu wall hanging, makes an elegant finishing touch. If we drag this on, boom. So again, heavy armor pieces. You got this massive cape, big flowing cape that droops down. And that is our chest piece, just huge. And again, like I said, it's all heavy armor. Then we move on to our arms. You see them here, Dust Devil. Salvage pieces of disused protective gear were welded together to make this intimidating armor set. So you can see it's all one piece, and you get these massive shoulder plates that are almost like a Darth Vader-esque look to them. All very like tan beige colour to do with the Dusters. The colour is important, as you'll learn when we're flying around later on. We get the legs, if I can find them. I have so many old armour sets and stuff in here, it's a pain in the bum to find stuff sometimes. Oh, they were hard to see because the icon hadn't appeared for it. There it is. So Dust Devil armour legs, again heavy armour. Salvage ship parts and disused protective gear were made to work this intimidating armour set, paired with a decorative leather belt. Oh, just to give you a little bit of info. And again, very, very heavy armour, like plated, stompy set, as you can see, with all the wraps on. So, You can see that this set looks amazing on its own, but when you find the guy you also get a custom backpack. So I'm going to turn all this off again, and you get this backpack called a Warden backpack. So this hard backpack from Vigil makes travel easy, whether you need a place to carry weapons or whether you've decided to bring some extra rations along for a long journey. This backpack was designed to rise to any occasion. The interior features a generous closable pocket to keep your small items from falling out of place. And you see that it's a heavy backpack and requires heavy armour. So if we slap this on as well, you see it's awesome tan backpack. It's like a sort of clamshell effect that clings onto the back of the cape nicely and fits it really well actually for a backpack that sort of, you know, you would think would clip through capes and stuff. The whole set looks amazing, and is definitely worth farming, especially for the perks that I'm sure you're about to see. You don't get any special bonuses for any wearing it or anything, it's just the pieces on their own are just insane. This set is the only one of the ones that were shown on that image and the ones that you can loot from any of the Duster gangs that work in space. So you do need to equip an undersuit as you saw me have on, but once you have done that, even though there seems to be a gap there, this set will work in space, so you can use this in vacuum. Any of the others you can't, unfortunately. They are just classed as pieces of clothing, they're not enclosed armour suits. So why is this set so good? We'll go to ammo. And if I just drag an S71 rifle magazine, 16, count them, 16 slots for magazines. How do you wear 16 clips of ammunition, 16 magazines of ammunition? I don't know. It is insane, but you can see them scanning around my character as it's looking for a place to put them all. It's ridiculous. So that's a hell of a lot of ammunition. Go to custom. And hopefully I've got some throwables. I do, good. 8 slots for throwables as well. 8 grenades. I think you can only equip 6. It won't let you equip 8, so I don't know if that's something to do with the armour, but you can turn your chest piece into essentially an explosive vest by strapping so many grenades to it that it's not even funny. And finally, on the utility side, if I have any med pens, I think I might have 1 or 2. No, I don't. That's a pain. Never mind. Can't equip that. Can't equip that. And on the utility side, it has like 6 or 8 utility slots as well. So like 8 slots for med pens and things. This set is ridiculous for its carry capacity and what it will let you walk around with. You are just a walking tank in this set. It's not fast, as you can imagine, like heavy armor sets. It makes you sluggish and slow. Your hydration and stuff will go down faster. But look at it. It's just ridiculous. And amazing. And it's all flowing and like the feather thing hanging off the side there. We'll slow our character down. Look at it. It is very much a boss level armour, isn't it? So how does one find this armour then? So first things first, you need to go to Hurston. And I would recommend by far that you go in something small. So the idea is that you zip around these places and you don't even have to get over to your ship. So you need something small like a Avenger. An Avenger will be perfect as well. So the Penguin, a Pisces. I was doing it in a Pisces or a Pisces Rescue most of the time. Something like a 100i. You know, all those kinds of little starter ships. Preferably one that can carry a little bit of cargo, which is why I recommend something like an Avenger, the 100i or a Pisces, because they've got a little bit of cargo space in the back where you can carry something. You could do it in a fighter, but you can't really shove items in a fighter, so you can't carry... they do have storage compartments, but it won't be big enough to carry an armour set, especially not a heavy armour set. For what it's worth, when I was shoving the set back into my Pisces to bring it back, it pretty much filled the Pisces cargo bay, like the internal cargo space when you press I, you know, not just dumping a body in the back or something. I actually moved it into a physical inventory in case the body fell out the back, that kind of stuff. So anyway, you go to Hurston, if we zoom in, And there are 4 locations that you need to concern yourself with. So you have Weeping Cove, Maker's Point, Rappel, and our last one, which I believe is in the south, Picker's Field. So those 4 there. If you missed them, go back and just look. So again, Maker's Point, Picker's Field, Weeping Cove, and Rappel. They're the 4 places that you need to go and farm this armour. So you take your small ship and you go back, and all you do is you go back and forth in a loop. And now I'm just going to show you how to find this and where to get it. So then, Weeping Cove used to be called Cutter's Rig. Maybe it still is, technically. Weeping Cove encompasses this whole island here. But as you come down, you'll see there's an oil rig. That's situated in this bay. This is called Cutter's Rig. And the man we are looking for here, you can see we have these big platforms. And on one particular side, you have this giant gas burner. Whereas on traditional oil rigs, they used to just burn all the gases off. And the man we're looking for is in here. So there's 2 people in there. You can see my lights illuminating them. And this is where he spawns. And once again, it's not the correct guy. This is the dude who is in the epic armor, not the legendary armor. You can see wearing the black clothing again with the shoulder plates, and not the spacey armor. But again, you can just blast him out of the way, so they'll all log on to you. Although they're not doing it this time, makes a change. And you can just carry on to the next spot. So you can run these pretty quickly around Hurston, as you can tell. So with Maker's Point, you see these 2 flashing red lights on the settlement here, as well as the towers. You want to make your way around to what I would say this is the front. It isn't really, it's just where you can see 2 entrances. And the man you are looking for, if I turn my light on here, will be hiding in this spot here, near this triangular tarp. In fact, I can see the man that it should be, but it isn't. So if we zoom in, here he is. So he is wearing the epic armor, as we saw in the image. You see he's got 2 gangs of dudes. Sometimes he's down here, so if I swivel this around here, he can spawn under here, or he can spawn here. He can spawn in several places, but he's generally in this little area here. But you can see this isn't quite him. You can tell because he's wearing a dark hood and he's in tan clothing. This is the epic armor though, and whilst it isn't spacey, then you can definitely use this to look very cool, and they do have unique stuff, like they have unique gear. But yeah, that's not the guy we're looking for. So generally just a good idea to blast them and then move on. So our next location is Picker's Field, and this one is kind of like located around Opera, just coming into the sunlight here to make this a little bit easier. There's a Connie here at the minute. I don't think he's doing anything untoward. What you're looking for is the settlement on it, so it's quite an open space, so it's hard to get lost here, especially when you're looking from the air. But again, you want to look for these 2 pylons that have got lights on them to help you, and then you want to look for these like campfires that people have set up. And you are looking for a very specific one. Let me see if I can spot it. I believe it's this one. A little bit harder to tell with the Connie lighting things up. This might be the one. I think this is the one. Yeah, there he is. So you're looking for the one where there's this like hangar building. It's not a scrap building. It's not where you will buy RMC. At least I don't think it is. And then one next to all these like big brick blocks, these granite blocks here. And the pylon is opposite the little swampy thing in the middle, if that makes it a little bit easier. And then Bossman is right where my headlights are. Can you see him? Just here. So once again, he's not in the legendary air quote armor. He's in the epic armor again, so he's got the fun little shoulder plates and he's got the black hood. He's still got the cape and he's still got his weapons on his back, but it's not the right man we're looking for. So now you know where they all are. So I'm here at Rappel, and I've been flying around for that armor, and on the right hand side where there's an entrance and the big cacti thing in the floor, there he is. And to make sure they're all dead, he's probably going to take some gunning. There he is. I think for the time being, I already have a lot of stuff at Rappel, so we will open his inventory. You see he's got a special backpack as well. Everything gets moved to Rappel. And a manticore helmet. How cool is that? You finally found him. He was carrying a Ravager and a P8. This is Dust Devil Armor Core. Awesome. So I wasn't expecting to find him at Rappel, I have to admit. But never mind, we found him. Let's carry on the search for some more. So there you go. Hopefully that will help you to go and find one of these armor sets yourself. Like I said, persistence pays off. These things are meant to be rare spawns. They aren't really meant to be farmed. It's just luck of the draw finding one of these things. It's taken me the better part of 4 or 5 days just to find 2. But 2 did show up in quick succession. So again, look at the draw. Keep searching. They are there, they just don't spawn very often. As far as I'm aware, if you're very lucky depending on the server spawn, you can get the entrenched bounty missions after you've done the initial bounty hunter mission. The ones I think they give you 9,000 credits as a reward. But in all the time I've seen this patch live, I have yet to see one that's at one of these locations. They're always within caves or at the crash wreck sites like the caterpillars and things. But again, luck of the draw, it could just be depending on your server when you get there, how many have been done and how the server is. But either way, now you know, now you can go and get one of these sets yourself and look like a boss until you lose it, and then you lose it. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. If you think I deserve it, please give the video a like and a sub if you fancy sticking around. If you want to try Star Citizen, you can use my referral code on screen when registering. That gives us both in-game credits to help us both out as well. See you in the next one.